Good day, everyone. I will formally start my discussion, and my discussion is about the Filipino personality. Who is the Filipino? Cultural and historical background. Let us define personality. Personality, according to the Dictionary of Social Work in 1993, personality is an individual's pattern of behavior or the characteristic expression of himself. This refers to the total individual that includes the needs, the motives, the methods of adjusting, the temperament qualities, the self-concept, the rule behaviors, attitudes, values, and abilities. And based on the history of our country, Filipinos are mixtures of many races that influence our cultures, our physical structures, and practices that made us different from the rest of the world. Filipinos are mixtures of many races, or we are a mosaic of many different influences. Or we are a mixtures of Aitas, Indonesians, and Malays. We also have the influence coming from the Chinese, Arabs, and Japanese. And we also have influence even from our colonizers. And our colonizers are Spaniards and Japanese. The Bayanihan spirit, or the spirit of kinship and camaraderie, is to be taken from the Malays or from the Malay forefathers, while the close family ties or the close family relations have been inherited from the Chinese. And the major Spanish influence in our country are the Christianity and the religionalism. And we have adapted from the Americans the religious freedom, the free education, and the English language. But the real question is, what characteristic that distinguishes us as Filipino? Or what is the unique characteristic or trait that we have that distinguishes us as a Filipino? So, to answer that, it is hospitality, Filipino character. Hospitality, and a trait that is displayed by every Filipino, and that is what distinguishes us as Filipino. For instances, if you're going to ask a foreigner or a tourist visiting in our country, why do you like to travel in the Philippines? Majority of them would answer, Filipinos are kind, always smiling, and generous, and we are heartwarming according to them. And that is the aspect of being hospitable. And that is as Filipinos. We are hospitable. That makes us different from the rest of the world, because most of the Western people are not that welcoming or hospitable, unlike us Filipinos. So most of them would like to visit in the Philippines because we are hospitable. Aside from being hospitable, Filipinos are now more popular throughout the world. Why? Bakit kaya popular tayo throughout the world? It is because we proved our talents in singing, in sports, in beauty and intelligence, in patriotism, and as well as Filipinos are hard-working people. As you observe in the picture, we have our Filipino pride. We have in singing, we have Lea Salonga, Apple the App, and many more. And in sports, we have Manny Pacquiao, we have Efren Bata Reyes, we have the Gilas Pilipinas, and they are very well known, or they gave pride to our country. And in beauty and intelligence, we have but Catriona Gray and Pia Wiersbach. And let's not forget our overseas Filipino workers who are hardworking and they are working in the other countries. And this made us the real essence of a true Pinoy personality because we are talented and Filipinos are recognized by other countries in many aspects, in singing, in beauty pageants, in sports, and that is a Pinoy pride for us. Next is, who is the Filipino? Originally, the term Filipino was used to refer to the Spaniards born in La Islas Filipinas. La Islas Filipinas is the original Spanish name of the Philippines in honor to King Philip II. The application of the term Filipino extended in the 18th and 19th centuries. However, during the Revolution, it extended its usage to include the entire Filipino inhabiting the Philippines. So the term Filipino in Revolution time is not only referred to the Spaniards born in the Philippines, but all or the entire people inhabiting the Philippines is called Filipino. And being the Asia's longest rule by the Western countries, it is a great task to search for the true identity of Filipino. And Filipinos are seen as the mixtures of many different influences, coming from Atas, Indonesians, Malays, from the traders like Japanese and Chinese, and from the colonizers, Spaniards and Americans. This is really a great task to search for the true identity of Filipino. And that is why we have now the 1987 Constitution. In 1987 Constitution, it stated that Filipinos are naturally born individual in the Philippines called Filipino citizen who practices the Filipino cultures and traditions, and those who obey the laws of the Philippine government. Aside from that, it is stated in 1987 Constitution Article 4, Section 1, that the citizens of the Philippines are the following: those who are citizens of the Philippines at the time of the adoption of this Constitution, those whose fathers or mothers are citizens of the Philippines, those born before January 17, 1973, of Filipino mothers who elect Philippine citizenship upon reaching the age of maturity, and those who are naturalized in accordance with law. In addition to this, I will briefly discuss the Robin Villotes 5 phrases that possibly point out to the original identity of Filipinos. So, Robin Villotes summarizes 5 phrases that point out the original identity of Filipinos. First is the family-oriented. Villotes explains that a Filipino is persistently attached to the members of the immediate family, meaning children, father-mother relationship, and even to the other relatives and to the other extended families like godparents or the ninong or ninang, or to the parents of one's godchild or the kumpare or kumare, making them own. So, Filipinos are known for their close family ties and for their respect for those who are in authority. For example, parents, elders, and leaders. In our country also, we practice reunion, or we have the family clan memberships that remains the source of our upbringing, kung saan tayo nagsimula, kung sino yung mga lola at lola natin, kung sino yung kapatid ng lola ng lola ng lola natin. We have that culture, the family clan membership. Next is the kainan pistahan oriented. Yes, pag may fiesta, may handa. Veliotes explains that Filipinos are gracious hosts and grateful guests. They easily make friends and cement relationships through inuman or drinking sessions and kainan or meals. So, when we are having our reunion, hindi mawawala ng inuman at ng pagkain. And that is really our culture. And next is the kundiman oriented. Kundiman is a classic Filipino love that speaks most of the time of a wounded love. This speaks of a Filipino capacity to endure pain and suffering. One of the most important characteristics of Filipinos that somehow developed through centuries of subjection to the other countries is the toughness and resiliency of a Filipino. Filipinos are known for their cheerfulness in the midst of both of success and defeat. Like if, for example, pag may bagyo, if we have typhoon in the Philippines, like baha ka lang, Pinoy kami. Ganun tayo mag-isip, ganun yung mentality ng Filipino. Ginagawa nating happy yung sad. Next is Bayani Oriented. The application of the word bayani or hero to us Filipino is quite wide, which includes the farmers, the teachers, the fishermen, the OFWs, the carpenters, the parents, the siblings, and anybody from domestic help to public servants who, for the sake of others, display loving sacrifice and self-giving and devotion. We consider that as hero or bayani. And last is the animist spirit-oriented. Animist spirit-oriented. A Filipino easily believes in the supernatural and the spirits. They are known for invoking spirits in healing, and that makes the Philippines entitled as the Faith Healing Center of Asia because we believe in supernatural and spirits. I guess that's the end of my report. Thank you for listening.